Hi everyone. Only 7 days are left for your CMAT exam now. You have it on 4th of May. So here I am with some tips for these remaining 7 days and what is to be done in these 7 days so that we can improve our score in the exam. Of course, I am assuming that because you are preparing for CMAT, you are appearing for it, you must have seen the paper by now. And of course, you might have done some, exercises as well. Some mock tests must have been given by you, some practice tests must have been given by you. You also would have seen the whole syllabus. What extra we can do in these 7 days to improve our score a little bit? That's what I am going to discuss in this session. So let's start talking about it. So as I said, 7 days are left. So I'm just giving you 7 tips for it. You can take it as one tip per day. So yes, that ways I'll be giving you some important tips. What are there? Let's start with the first one. The first important thing is that when I talk about the English section, though I know you all would be knowing about it, CMAT is a 3-hour exam. There are 20 questions in each of these sections. There are 5 sections. I'm starting with the English section here. Normally, in the other exams like CAT, Z, etc., we have seen that RC is extremely important. There are a lot many questions asked upon reading comprehensions. But here, when I talk about CMAT exam, last year, if we see the paper actually, so the number of questions out of 20 from RC were, I think, around 4, and we had around 14-15 questions from grammar and vocabulary, right? And these are those two areas which actually can be improved in these 7 days only. I mean, you can improve those. RC is something which takes a lot of time. You read a lot and slowly you develop that knowledge about doing the questions of RC, but actually vocabulary is more of memory based, right? Similarly, in grammar, there are so many rules. You can study some rules and you might find some questions based upon them. So therefore, I feel vocabulary and grammar are the important areas, and you can actually improve at those in these 7 days itself. This is the first thing, in my opinion, you should start with. Many of us are afraid of the English section. We are not able to score well over there. This probably can reduce your fear a bit because you would start feeling that, okay, I'm able to do something in English now and I'm able to score well. Second important thing, that after this, of course, when we talk about English section, the next section that comes to our mind is mathematics. And I have seen that most of the students, they just keep practicing mathematics all the time. Somehow, either they feel that we like it, or probably the reason might be that in quantitative aptitude, you generally see that, okay, you are improving. Whenever you are able to solve a question, you feel better, you feel confident about it. I would suggest that though there are again 20 questions in quantitative ability, and even out of those 20 questions, some of them are on data interpretation, revise all the topics in these 7 days, but practice arithmetic a lot, because out of 20 questions, approximately 8 to 9 questions would be there from arithmetic alone, which makes it around 40-45% of the paper. So if I remove DI, so arithmetic alone has almost the same weightage as all other areas like algebra, geometry, modern mathematics, number system. Though I'm not saying just leave those areas, but revise the concepts of all of them. Practice the questions of arithmetic in these 7 days. Of course, I'm giving you the strategy for 7 days. Otherwise, had there been 1 month or 2 months, I would not have said that. I would have said practice everything. So, because of this limited time, I would say practice more of arithmetic so that you can be good at it. But yes, people who are already feeling that we are already good at arithmetic, I would suggest then look at your weak areas in quantitative aptitude, revise the concepts of all, but practice those weak areas so that you can improve there. Okay, that's the second important tip from my side. Then I come to the third one. GK is an area in which everyone is somehow feeling tensed, that we never feel confident enough to score well in GK. If you look at the GK section of CMAT in the last few years, there have been more questions on static GK rather than the current GK. So that means that makes it more important. Though there is no end to it. I mean, for general knowledge, you can't say that, okay, at this stage, I can say I have read everything and now whatever CMAT asks me, I can answer the questions. No, that does not happen. But static GK is more important. Approximately 60 to 70% of the questions would be from the static GK. Pay more attention to that. Current GK, of course, you can prepare that, but not many questions are going to appear on that. So in these 7 days, Focus upon these, and there are lot many areas from which they ask you questions. They ask you questions from history, they ask you questions from literature, they ask you questions from science as well, they'll be asking you questions from politics too. So there are lot many areas from which they would be asking. Whatever best you can do in these 7 days to improve your static GK, work on that. Then comes the next section, which is logical reasoning. Once again, in logical reasoning, the kind of questions CMAT asks you, they're not very tough. Everyone is almost, I would say, good at these areas. You are good at blood relation kind of questions. You are good at directions based questions, arrangement based questions. Syllogism is one area in which not many people are good. Just find out those weak links and work on them in these remaining 7 days. You feel that you are not able to do syllogism questions very good. Okay, start practicing those questions in these remaining days. Suppose you feel that, okay, I'm not very good at input output based questions, practice those questions in remaining days. But LR is an area in which you should be able to score well, right? Each one of you should be able to score well. If you are not scoring well in LR, that's a problematic area, because if you are not able to score well in LR, you are automatically going down with respect to your competitors, because in your competition you will find almost every student, they are able to score well in logical reasoning for sure. Rather, what I have seen in CMAT, the important sections where generally, I mean, the fight is there, they are GK and innovation and entrepreneurship. Otherwise, in quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, and general English, not many people have a problem. So, if you have a problem in logical reasoning in any specific area, just practice them in these remaining days and work on those areas as well, so that you can score well there. After that, when I talk about innovation and entrepreneurship, so once again is an area of concern for many of us. We don't know what to do. There are so many things there, because it is just like GK. I would see that this is more scoring with respect to GK, because innovation and entrepreneurship, for me, it's more like business GK, isn't it? GK has got a vast syllabus. You have to study all those areas like geography, history, science, literature, philosophy, and there are so many things. But if you just specifically study about business GK, it almost includes all the areas of innovation and entrepreneurship. So, therefore, focus more upon business GK. It would automatically improve your I and E area as well, and therefore it becomes more scoring because it is specific. So trust me on this, because GK and IND, they both have the similar weightage. The weightage is equal for both of them. Of course, you can score well in IND just because there is a limited syllabus for that. GK is unlimited. It's like infinity, right? So therefore, you can score well over here. These are the 5 sections that I wanted to talk about. Then there are 2 more things that I would talk about. First, you all know how important mock tests are. Not only in CMAT, whether be it Maharashtra CET or TISNET or SNAP or NMAT or CAT, I mean ZAT, IFT, whichever exam is there, whichever institute you are preparing from, whichever faculty member is teaching you, everywhere you will get one single feedback that mock tests are extremely important. And because they are, therefore everyone is saying that. Rather, not only mock tests, I would say, only mock tests would not be able to do anything. Analysis of that mock is extremely important, especially in case of CMAT. The reason is, even if you are writing CMAT, you must have seen one thing. Your score would not vary much in case of CMAT, right? If you're writing mocks of, let's say, an exam like SNAP, an exam like NMAT, so there your score might vary in the mock test. The reason is there we have, I mean, a very limited time. Though the time is limited here as well, but actually in CMAT, I've never seen a student saying, sir, I missed some of the questions because of the paucity of time. That does not happen. You have 180 minutes to do just 100 questions. That makes it approximately 2 minutes per question. And that too, when you have such easy questions, how can a person leave a question? And in, I mean, out of those 100 questions, there are 20 questions of GK. Either you know it or you don't know it. 20 questions of IND. Either you know it or you don't know it. 20 questions out of English. So either you know it or you don't know it. So ultimately, whatever time you are going to spend, it is on quantitative ability and LR only, because the remaining 60 questions, probably you can do it in 40 to 50 minutes. The remaining 2 hours, right, more than 2 hours are there for doing just for those 40 questions of quant and LR. So therefore, write these mocks, check your strategy well, where are you making mistakes, analyze your paper well, and accordingly make a proper strategy, because as I said, it is not a time based exam. Strategize accordingly. The strategy has to be different from that of time based exam. So here I do not have to work very fast. Important is accuracy. Now my answer should be correct, whether I have to check them twice. So if I have to do that checking twice, I would do that. Double check your answers, but focus upon accuracy. Try to score at least 300 in CMAT exam, and that's a gettable score, right? Out of 100 questions, doing 75 questions is not very difficult in CMAT, let me tell you, right? If you are good at GK and IND, it becomes pretty easy for all of you to score that much. So therefore, because it's not a time-based exam, therefore strategize accordingly, work in a way so that you can improve your score, and just write these mocks, analyze them properly. At least 3 mocks must be written in these 7 days. And if you analyze them properly, get a proper strategy in place, do whatever is written on the screen, I am pretty sure you are going to succeed in your exam. So that's all from my side. And ultimately, there is an information for you that on the exam day, that is on 4th of May, I would be there with you for this CMAT exam analysis. And we'll be talking about the kind of questions that have appeared, what are the expected cutoffs, at what scores you can get, what expect, what kind of colleges. All those things we'll be discussing on BYJU'S Exam Prep YT channel. Subscribe to the channel now and do not miss any notifications. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much and all the very best for the exam. I'm sure you are going to score good in the exam. All the best.